Fellow Toastmaster, honored guests, welcome to our meeting, the last one of that month, and nearly the last one reaching the end of that term. So, as I mentioned last time, we will have our election for the next executive committee on the 14th of June. So, I will ask you, all of us, to attend this important meeting, because we will vote who will be part of our next executive committee. And I think it is very important for the future of our club to elect the right people managing our Toastmaster Club. Today, as usually, I would like to ask the guests who are here to introduce themselves and to mention why they are here, even if they did it once, because I know that you can come here several times, 3 times. I would like some of them to repeat perhaps why they attend our club. So I will start by James, who came for the 2nd time, to introduce briefly.
Thank you very much for your warm introduction. Dear Toastmasters and honoured guests again. I would like to thank you again for inviting me to this event. I came because I need to improve the way I communicate with people, be more engaging and eloquent with my speech, but as a communications person within the program for cancer therapies, I need to be able to talk simply about the complexity of our subject. So I think really engaging with you will be a very good way of really trying to make sure I get good messages clearly. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was clear. So now let's move to Paola. It is a good surprise for me to meet her again here after I don't know how many years, but by chance. So you were invited here by a friend of yours.
Yeah.
So you know, life is really surprising, and we are happy to get you here. So can you briefly introduce your reason why you are here?
So I'm Paola Abarca de Rio, and I'm going to be re-entering the workforce after looking after my children, raising the children. So I want to be able to improve my communication and my speaking. And I used to be a Toastmasters member in Vancouver, in Canada.
So you restart again.
I'll restart again.
Good. And finally, I'm so sorry I forgot your name. We introduce each other, but if you can again reintroduce yourself, I will appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm Gerda Meyer, and first of all I'd like to thank you very much for the invitation. I was very much looking forward to it because I used to be a lawyer, and I'm still very interested in social politics and in everything we have in common or not. So I'm really looking forward to this meeting and perhaps to others. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Madam Toastmaster of the Day, we have 2 new members today.
Oh.
May I ask them to introduce themselves, please?
Of course. Who are there?
Yes, I'm Melissa. I already visited the Toastmasters Club, and before I was also with the Toastmasters in New York, so I'm familiar with the structure of the meetings and how it runs, and I'm looking forward for further sessions.
Wonderful.
Learning more.
Okay, hi, I'm Diego. I've been here 3 times, I think, in the last 6 months. I haven't filled the application form, but I promise I will visit you this afternoon and play my duties. And I'm really looking forward to this to this group and team, and I hope it will improve my communication skill.
Good choice.
Thank
Good
you.
choice.
It's my third time. Should I introduce?
Yes, it's your turn, and you have again to go through the whole process. I'm sorry, perhaps the last time.
Okay, never mind. Okay, my name is Aster. I work with Unido. This is my third time. I'm invited by my dear friend Monica. The last 2 times I was here, I really enjoyed it very much. It's really a nice opportunity to improve my communication skills. So that's the purpose I'm here, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you. So, can I say that we have a lot of fresh blood? That's wonderful to renew the team, and yeah. So congratulations to everybody as guests or as new members. I think yeah, you made the right choice. So let's continue this meeting because we are a little bit late. I would like to handle the control of this meeting to our Toastmaster of the day, Mrs. Vicky.
Sometimes I wish I had a time machine. I would like, just like Marty McFly in Back to the Future, go back into the past and make amends, get rid of all the mistakes that I've made, or go into the future and see what's going to happen so that I could somehow prevent those mistakes that I might make. I'm sure this is familiar with you as well. You have this feeling sometimes that we could, do something differently that we have done in the past. And I fall into this trap of believing that I could make any better, or I could improve, or I could by not being in the moment. This was not very clear now, James. What I was trying to say is that sometimes we forget that the most important time in our lives is always the now, and the moment we are in right now. And on this note, I would like to open today's Toastmaster session. Fellow Toastmasters, honoured guests, I have the pleasure as Toastmaster of the day to lead you through today's session. As a Toastmaster of the day, it is my job to prepare the meeting, organise the meeting, and during the meeting lead you through the steps and stages we have in a regular Toastmasters meeting. And to just briefly explain to our guests how a Toastmasters meeting works, we have 3 main parts. The first part consists of prepared speeches, where members prepare speeches and deliver their speeches. Then after each speech, everyone from the audience gives some written feedback. You all have slips of papers like this on your agendas. And we have a minute to give some feedback to the speakers. The second part is an impromptu speaking part, which means we have a table topics master who will be here at the lectern and who will ask questions. 2 members who do not, preferably 2 members who do not have a speaking role, so that they also have a chance to speak during the regular Toastmasters meeting. And finally, one of the most important parts of a Toastmasters meeting is the evaluation session, where the speakers get evaluated directly by an evaluation speech, and various points during the meeting are being evaluated. And for this we have another person who is the general evaluator. And I would like to ask our general evaluator of today, who is Nicole, to introduce today's evaluation team. If you like.
So, fellow Toastmasters and honoured guests, this is my honor and privilege today to be the general evaluator, which means that I'm not going to evaluate everything. I have a team with me, and people are going to help me evaluating both the meeting and the members who are going to speak. I have with me as evaluator of the first speaker, Valerie, and evaluator of the second speaker, Lily. And I have a hack counter, Shuba. And what Shuba is going to do is to spot the mistakes that you might make. Also, maybe notice the use of language, the good use of the English language, and interesting words that you might use. And you might also have a word of the day.
Actually, grammarians.
I'm the grammarian.
Oh, you're the, sorry. Shuba is the accountant. Yeah, no, she's not going to deal with the word of the day. So then the grammarian is Ines, and Ines is going to maybe have a word of the day today.
Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, evaluator. The word of the day is democracy.
Democracy.
Democracy. I had to cough it up very quickly, so I didn't.
So the ones who are not familiar, this is a word that you might want to try and use during a speech or an evaluation.
Just to give you a hint, I don't have Google with me. I Googled it myself, somewhere here. Allowing democracy, allowing people, population groups, and others to actively engage and give their inputs, ideas, in whatever way they need to in order to promote positive developments.
Thank you. Coming back to you, since you're going to be the accountant, and Shuba is going to listen to you very carefully in order to spot your R and hesitations and repetitions. And of course, I'm part of the ones who are going to be evaluated, and I might have a few already, which means that I might have to fill in this little box here that will help us, organize an event at the end of the year. Now, the timekeeper is Robin. So Robin is going to make sure that you don't go over the time which is allotted to you. And Robin,
Yes.
Why don't you explain what you're going to do today?
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Mrs. Toastmaster of the Day. As a timekeeper, my role will be to monitor time for each segment of the meeting and for each speaker. For the prepared speeches, we'll have 5 to 7 minutes to do their speeches, and I will show the green card to them when the speech reaches 5 minutes, the amber card when the speech reaches 6 minutes, and the red card when the speech reaches close to 7 minutes. It should not, the speeches should not go further than 7 minutes and a half, with the risk of being disqualified in a contest. So for the table topic speeches, each table topic speaker will have 2 minutes to answer the question, and I will show the green card when the speech reaches 1 minute, the amber card when the speech reaches 1.5 minutes, and the red card when the speech reaches close to 2 minutes. For every evaluator will have 2 to 3 minutes to present their evaluation results, and I will show the green card when the evaluator reaches 2 minutes, amber card when it reaches 2.5 minutes, and the red card when the evaluation reaches close to 3 minutes. Thank you.
The last member on my team is our R counter. No, again, the ballot counter. I'm giving it. role today. The ballot counter, and Yuri is going to do that, and maybe he wants to explain to us what his role is.
Dear Toastmaster, this is the second time for me to attend this Toastmaster, and I'm so happy to be a ballot counter, and I think I'm responsible to collect all the votes and announce the winner through this democracy process.
Thank you. Presentation of my team, and I return the floor to you.
Fellow Toastmasters, you see we are a democratic club because everybody gets a chance to slip into any role, maybe a very challenging and demanding role or just a tiny role, but we take turns. Every meeting we take turns. Every meeting we have a different team who will present their roles and will try to learn by doing. And with this, we move into the cream section, I call it, of prepared speeches. But before I introduce the first speaker of today, I would like to call the evaluator of the first speaker, who is going to be Valerie today, to ask to read us the objectives of today's speech.
So, James Young is going to do his project 5 out of the communication manual, and the objective of his project is to use stance, movement, gesture, facial expression and eye contact to express his message and achieve his speech purpose. He will have to make his body language smooth and natural. And in order to do it, he has 5 to 7 minutes. Everything is about body language.
Thank you, Valerie. And with this, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Gentian, who has been a Toastmaster for, I think, about 2 years. He joined us through a speech craft session.
8 months.
8 months, so that was last year. And already he's giving his 5th project after the basic manual. And I'm very much looking forward to his speech with the title, A Great Day to Celebrate Life.
Fellow Toastmasters, most honored guests, it happens to all of us to have ups and downs in life. Sometimes life, as Paulo Coelho once said, puts our will into a test, either by having nothing happen at all, or by having everything happen at once. The latter was the case for me in a spring sunny day of 1982. I was 2 years and a half in Albania. Well, to be honest, I would be the same age everywhere. And my large extended family had gathered together to celebrate our grandparents, my grandfather's birthday, and it was a very, very important gathering for all of us. And given its significance, my parents were busy organizing the food, the arrangements, the preparations for 40 plus people, and they left me with my sister and other cousins of ours to play around in the playground. The playground for that day was a military shelter next to my grandma's house. We were playing on the roof, and next to the military shelter, between the house and the shelter, there was an irrigation canal, and we were having great fun, and it was a great day for us. And being in a democracy between us kids, we decided that anything could go. We were so much carried away from the game that at a certain point, my sister forgot about me. They went their own way and I went mine. After some minutes, the lunch was ready and our parents were calling for us. And the only one missing, guess who? It was me. I was not responding to their calls. And it was a worrying moment for all of them. They began to search around everywhere, and they couldn't find me. And they kept searching and searching, and at a certain point my mom saw me somewhere close to a berry bush tree. I was stuck into the irrigation canal. And the water had brought me up. I was there lying lifeless in a mixture of pale and blue color. And I let you imagine the situation and how my mom felt. She immediately threw herself in, she grabbed me, she was trying frantically to bring me back to life. And it seemed like as if it was a hopeless situation. Off she went into the sitting room. She tried continuously some respiratory and mouth-to-mouth pulmonary techniques, resuscitation techniques, and nothing was working. She kept doing that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, and it still was not working. There was no response from me. In the meantime, a group of old ladies entered the room uninvited. They had dressed themselves in black to pay the due respect to the dead, which, by the way, was supposed to be me. And it was quite a surreal situation. You can imagine the race into my mom's head, her thoughts flowing like crazy. She was feeling like she was losing me through her hands. It took some courage, I suppose it was my father or my uncle, to invite the ladies, no democracy there, sorry, unceremoniously to get out of the room, because they kept saying that was his fate, poor him. Unfortunately, these things happen and so on and so forth, and it was quite a tense atmosphere. My mom kept going on, and finally persistence paid off. I gave a weak sign of life. I just moved my head aside, and after a while a burst of water came out of my mouth, and within 10 or 15 minutes I began to breathe again. I think often about this event. Of course, I was the main protagonist, but I didn't remember anything of it. And of course, when my mom tells me, it leads me to think about life in general and the significance it has for me. Because it's a great chance, it's a great opportunity to be back, to live a second life. And as Bob Lonsbury once said, life is good, it is precious, it is a blessing, even on its worst days. And in its deepest valleys, we should never forget the view from its highest mountains. Because happiness in life is not a matter of circumstance, it's perspective. And this I try always to remember, that my life should not be determined by circumstances, but it should have a purpose, it should have a certain significance. And as Robert Bryan said, the purpose of life is a life of purpose, and my life's purpose is to be compassionate, to help the others. By working for UNIDO in sustainable, renewable energy, I feel like I'm doing my tiny bit. I'm bringing light into the people's lives. And of course I'm blessed with family, friends. I have a gorgeous wife and 2 sons. And I never take these things for granted. I never take my life's blessings for granted. As Oprah Winfrey once said, the more you praise and celebrate life, the more there is in life to celebrate. Fellow Toastmasters, most honored guests, being here with you today and sharing this experience certainly makes it a day worth celebrating. Thank you.
Thank you, Gentian, for this very Italian speech. We now have 1 minute to give some feedback. I'm not going to comment too much because the evaluator is going to give an evaluation speech later. So we have a little slip here to give some personal feedback to go to. I believe Yovray has a cup to collect the feedback. And I would like to continue to introduce our second speaker, who's going to be Krista. But before that, I would like to call the evaluator of Krista's speech, namely Lily, to read the objectives of the speech.
Krista is the Toastmaster who came from another club to us and has gone through the communication manual, this is the old version, a number of times, and she's on project number 9, not for the first time. She says it's so much fun doing the communication manual project. The objectives of project number 9 are to persuade listeners to adopt your viewpoint or ideas or to take some action, to appeal to the audience's interests, use logic and emotion to support your position, avoid using notes, and the time allocated is 5 to 7 minutes.
And with this, I would like to welcome Krista to the podium. Krista, I met you Christmas last year for the first time, and I know that you're a very, very nice lady with a very, very nice dog. And I'm really looking forward to your persuasive speech with the title 21 Reasons.
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Lily. Dear honored guests and fellow Toastmasters, we have a problem. We have a problem that is not a great problem, but it's still a problem. How many people here have been to a district conference meeting in Toastmasters? We have 5 people. How many people were at the district conference meeting in Romania 10 days ago? 1 of us! So, this is our problem. What's the solution? The solution is for each and every one of us to seriously consider going to the next conference meeting. And that meeting is going to be in Warsaw, Poland. There are 21 reasons, at least, that you absolutely need to go to that meeting. The number 1 reason, there will be a keynote speaker that is fantastic. The speaker 10 days ago that we got to hear, and we heard him twice in a 2-day period, was the World Championship speaker in 2015. So, you can't beat that. And really, as a Toastmaster, I've been a Toastmaster for over 20 years, with a huge break of about 15 years in between. This is a celebrity for us. And he was treated like a celebrity. Everyone was pulling him aside to take pictures with him. They were trying to get advice from him, and he was one of the nicest people that you will ever meet. How long do you think he has been in Toastmasters? 6 years. 6 years, and he's the World Championship speaker. Now let me tell you how the district, area, division conferences work. We're a club. The area is the next level. For us, Vienna is our area. So the other clubs in our city make up our area. The next level up is the division. This is made up of Hungary and Austria currently. The district goes all the way from Sweden down to Romania. So at the conference I was at 10 days ago, we saw speakers that came from clubs across that whole region. 260 clubs. And my final reasons, I'm going to have a group of reasons at the end here. My final reasons you might be able to guess through some of my talk here. So another one reason to go to the district conference is if you're like me, you are very easily impressed and you like new, different things. This, I've never seen this before. This is how they presented the agenda for us. So this was not only our name tag, we also instantly knew exactly where we needed to be and what was happening next on the agenda. So you just can't beat that. And like I said, I'm easily impressed. The other reasons that you should go are that your entry fee includes 2 lunches, it includes all the coffee over 2 days, and finally it includes a fantastic banquet on Saturday night. That banquet is extremely well done. They present the final winners of our district who go to the international conference and compete at that level. The four other reasons that are part of this little book is that they have workshops throughout this 2 days. Some of the workshops include Bang Their Heads with Emotion and How I Became a Cyborg and Started to Remember Everything. So 2 extremely well done workshops, and very often these workshops are done by people who professionally present. So you would normally pay additional money just to go see them teach you new things about how to speak. So now we've come down to 2 more reasons of why it's important to go to this meeting. The district, just like the club, is a democracy. So we get to vote. There's a business meeting, and 2 very important things came from this business meeting. One is that we're going to be redistricted. So right now we're a district of 260 clubs from Sweden down to Romania, which is huge. This is a large amount of people. So Toastmasters likes to condense it and have smaller districts. We are going to be part of a district with Greece and Italy. We couldn't have planned it better. It was perfect. And this was so easy for me to vote on for our club. So also consider the fact that you can be a part of this business meeting, you can provide information during the meeting, and you can also know the latest and greatest of what's happening in Toastmasters. So, the final 10 reasons. Can anyone guess what those 10 final reasons to go to the district meeting are? The competitors, you got it. These people have competed from their club level to the area level to the division level. They are finally at the district level. They've given a speech 20, 25, 30 times, and they still have to present it as though it's the first time they gave it and that it's fresh, and they did it. Watching these 10 finalists compete is absolutely fantastic. So now I'm down to the 21st reason of why you should consider a district conference. And that is that each and every one of you have the ability to become a contestant at the level of a district conference. The club supports you, the area then supports you if you move forward, the division can support you, and finally at the district you are celebrated almost as high a level as the person who came from the World Championship of Speaking. So, I have several cards at the end of the meeting, and I will be passing these out to everyone to remind you of the dates of the meeting. It's relatively economical to go. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money to go to this meeting. And in addition, you get to see a city that you may or may not have visited before, but you'll have a purpose to be there. Not just to see all the museums as a tourist, but to meet your friends, meet new friends from across the region. So please, consider going to the meeting in Warsaw. Let me know if you have more questions. I can tell you more about the district meeting just 10 days ago. It was very exciting and very well done. Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Kristen. feedback and give it to Krista. And with this, we move into the next session, into the next part of our Toastmasters meeting, which is one of the most challenging ones for a lot of members. Not everyone, but a lot of members find this one of the most exciting and thrilling parts of the Toastmasters, because it's all about impromptu speaking without any preparation, speaking off the cuff. And for this we have a table topics master, and today it's going to be Monica. She also joined us through a speech class session I remember last year, and I'm sure it will be very interesting. Monica.
So, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, I think I picked today a topic that is very much in line with what we are talking today. First, Vicky started with a very inspirational quote. Then we had two very inspirational speeches from Vic Tm and Krista. I think they both inspired us to do something different, to kind of give us some energy or a very positive message to our lives. So you can imagine, or you can guess perhaps, that I will speak today about this power that moves you, that makes you do things different. That is inspiration. So inspiration is everywhere. You can get inspired by nature, by music, by the words of a friend, of a colleague, by looking into the eyes of a kid, or by looking into the eyes of your mother. There's an inspiration anywhere. It's just up to us to be open and to breathe in this power and this energy that we can find anywhere in our lives, in our planet. So I would like to ask, first of all, perhaps someone who has not spoken yet, Robin, have you found inspiration in someone in your life that touched you and that kind of convinced you to do things, the things that you're doing now, perhaps?
Thank you, dear Toastmasters, honored guests. Someone who inspired me in my life, I would say, was a friend of mine I had when I got 17 years old. The person that I became my friend at school, and that brought me the interest in world politics, world issues, and that certainly was a reason why I ended up working for UNIDO and for the UN. This person told me to always question what you hear in the media. My friend also suggested to be careful of what my friends or even family said, not in terms of being suspicious or paranoid, but of not being biased of what they would say. For example, I used to believe all a friend of mine was saying about Ecuadorian politics, and I used to hate the president of Ecuador at that time, until I really started reading by myself, trying to look at different other medias and listen to some people that were not necessarily living there. And I realized that my friend in Ecuador was part of the elite of the country and did not like her president because of, I would say, familial reasons. And I think that, so at the end, I bring this up to my friend I met when I was 17 at school. He is a person that really put myself into better questioning and makes me have right now a much more objective vision of things. Thank you.
So people today are excelling about anything in their lives. I mean, there's always someone that you admire for something. And if you ask them why they are like the way they are, then they will probably name a person who they saw and touched their lives, and somehow they found inspiration there. and that's why they are acting the way they act today. I can think about many people who are constantly inspiring my life, like colleagues, friends, or sometimes I like to go into internet and watch these TED speeches. There's a lot of inspiration there as well. Also, when I do certain things, for example, if I try to engage in a new club or in a new sport, I get motivated by my colleagues or friends. I get inspiration from them. I want to ask now Shuba. Shuba, I noticed that you are a passionate athlete and that you find somewhere inspiration. I have seen you participating in several races. Can you tell us what inspired you to become an athlete and to run as fast as you do?
Madam Master, hello Toastmasters, honored guests. When I was a child, I was born in Nepal, Kathmandu. We didn't have any facilities for sports like here, one cannot compare at all. During my childhood time, what we had was only tables or football or some what's it called? It's a glass thing.
Marbles.
Yes, those things. Only these things we had, and the sticks to play with, different types of games, of course, all natural. So nothing special like we have here, unlimited opportunity, nothing so far like that. So then I went to college, and there for the first time in my life, I saw ping pong table. And then I thought, this is for me. So I joined that college club, and I started to play the ping pong there, and I was so fascinated. It was my main interest. Of course, I had to also parallelly study in the college because otherwise my parents will be so disappointed. For them, study is the most important, of course, because the sports do not bring money. So I had to parallelly study very hard to compensate and also concentrate in my hobby, that was table tennis. And from there in the championship, college championship, I won, and I was chosen for national team. So I went to the national team. There I had a Chinese coach, and he was very good, and he taught us, all of us. And then I got chance, really very great opportunity to participate in different countries representing my country. So that was my first inspiration. I got it from my college and my teacher there. And then afterwards, I started to do more like running a bit and also swimming, all sorts of games. And here when I came to Vienna, in the park, when I went running, I met one group. They were doing very hard exercise, very, very tough. I thought, oh, this is not for me. But then I was going all around, all the time, I saw them. Then I thought, okay, today I will join them. And there I started also doing this gymnastics, which is called core exercise. And there I got really so impressed, and I liked it, and I'm still there. So these are my inspirations.
Thank you. I actually was looking a little bit in internet, and I found some nice quotes and some people who have inspired others to do things, people who are perhaps not well known to everybody, but who have touched many lives and kind of help others to become better persons. For example, I found this beautiful quote that says, surround yourself with people who encourage you, inspire you, and believe in your dreams. Apparently there's always 5 people, close people around you that really make something different in your life, that influence your life so strongly that you act the way you act. So I would like to ask Ines, can you perhaps mention 1 or 2 people in your life that have inspired you and make you the person you are today, like influence your life so strongly that you are the way you are?
Madam Tabletop Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. You're asking me for 5 people, 5 persons. Actually, I have decided to do it go a different way. And I noticed that I'm a person who likes to do a lot of things which are actually helping me to get further in whatever manner. And therefore I've decided to go for using my 5 senses. What I hear, what I can smell, what I can touch, what I can see, and therefore I'm listening quite carefully what people are telling me. I'm watching people, and I'm just also reading what people are writing. And many other issues which are actually connected to the use of my 5 senses. There are so many new options, there is so much in the internet, in our own surroundings. When I'm looking at the 5% you're asking me to select, perhaps it's the order. People say when you are being breastfed, you are actually getting in some kind of an addiction. But this addiction is also inspire you to really to take life on at the fullest.
Thank you so much. Actually, Genshin said something very nice today, that you have to live your life like as if it could be like the last moment, and really really enjoy it and appreciate what you have. Like, you never know when it's going to be the last moment in all your life. Sometimes you wake up, you are totally tired, you have no energies, you think, oh, I cannot do that, or you are afraid of something. One of the persons who have influenced, somehow touched my life is, I don't know if you know Nick Vujicic. This person was born without limbs, without any of the 4 limbs. And apparently he even tried to commit suicide at the age of 10 because he was so frustrated. He could, what can you do with no arms, with no legs? So apparently he read something and this kind of motivated him, and now he's an extreme sporter. He does any kind of sports, risky sports. He's even married. He has an excellent life. He's a motivational speaker now. He has touched the life of many people and make them really change and improve their lives. So I thought once I wanted to take again. I skied in the past when I was a child, and I quit it for several years. So I was a little bit afraid. You always heard about these accidents and everything. So last year I thought, like, oh, why should I not start again with skiing? And I was inspired somehow, and I started, and I enjoyed it a lot. So I would like to ask Maria Therese if you've had this kind of inspiration, that's something that you perhaps forgot for a time and decided to quit. And then you started again because you found inspiration somewhere else, or perhaps something, music, I don't know, or any hobby that you are doing because you got inspired by someone else?
I'm tabletop Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests. I could have answered every other question up to now, but I find this one hard. First of all, you're never going to see me on a skiing slope because I'm afraid of heights. You're never going to see me jogging and being all sporty because I don't like to sweat. What you might find me doing is going to Toastmasters. Why? Because Toastmasters inspires me. Actually, talking about this person over here reminds me of somebody who has inspired me that I met in Toastmasters. I'm not in this club, sorry. There's several inspirational people in this club, but I met her, I believe it was a division contest in Hungary several years ago. And she was at the registration desk, and she was not acting important. But I started talking to her, and I liked her. We're real big buddies in the meantime. You might know Toastmaster Anna from Slovakia, who is in a wheelchair, who is a brilliant Toastmaster, never ceases to amaze me at how enthusiastic she gets about Toastmastering. And not just her club, she comes to visit us sometimes, if we can sneak her into the building. But the thing I love about Toastmaster Anna is that she doesn't complain. She doesn't talk about all the things, I can't do this, and I can't do that, and I can't do... She talks about the things she wants to do. Like Maria Theresa, I would love to work in the UN. And maybe I hurt her when I said this, but you know, one of my things, forgive me, is honesty. I said, Anna, everybody in the world would like to work at the UN. So you're not unique in that respect. But still, she applies. If anybody knows of any jobs going for somebody very capable and competent, she has experience in program management, she does brilliant jobs organizing Toastmaster events, I would wholeheartedly recommend her to you. And as I said before, had I not gone to, as you said, something outside of my club level, to a division contest, I would have never met this remarkable woman. And I tell you, she's changed my life. Fellow Toastmasters.
Thank you very much. I think you are a Toastmasters, no? Like, sorry, I can't remember your name.
Melissa.
Melissa. So Melissa, perhaps by looking at these pictures, can you, are you familiar with all of them, or can you spot one of them that perhaps inspires your life, or mention someone else perhaps that has inspired you?
Yeah, I'd like to talk about J.K. Rowling. I'm actually Portuguese, and J.K. Rowling married a Portuguese guy that was possibly not very smart. And she had a hard time living in Porto, you know, Porto from the port wine. And without getting into too many details, she got divorced, and she moved back to England, and she was living out of social aid. And she had many financial problems. She was raising the kid alone, and she put herself into this adventure, this task to prepare these world-famous books on Harry Potter. And I was a big fan of Harry Potter, and before I started to read about her story and her life, and I think it's really incredible, because she said that always my biggest fear was to be poor, and then I was really, really poor. She got over it. She's one of the richest persons in the UK. But the reason why she inspires me is that she really found her talents, and it really proves if you do something and you do something you love and you are really good at it, you can be very successful. So I think she's a success story for anyone that has dreams and ambitions and really puts a lot into it. And yeah, so that's my inspiration. Thank you.
So I guess we don't have any more time, so thank you very much for your contribution. Bye.
Thank you for this very fluent table topic session. We now have the possibility, since we are a democratic club and we love democracy, we like to vote. And we vote for the best table topic speaker. Would you like to repeat the speakers, or shall I do it quickly? Do you still remember?
Yes, I do still remember. Actually, perhaps the order is not exact the right one. Sugar was the first one.
No, Robin.
Robin, pardon. Robbie was the first one, and Sugar, the second one. Marie-Thérèse. Ines. And Laura.
Melissa.
Melissa
was the last. And you have a slip of paper at the back of this slip of paper. The last one is the one for table topic speaker. And Euro is going to collect the ballots and count them and announce the winner.
He will get this. So this is first speaker.
Table topic.
Oh, sorry.
And with this we move further on to our final part of this one of the most important parts of the taste topics, of the Toastmastering, which is the evaluation session. And it's time to polish the diamonds. And for this, we have our general evaluator who is going to lead us through this very important session.
Thank you, Mrs. Toastmaster of the day. I would like then to call the first evaluator, Valerie, to evaluate the first speaker.
Fellow Toastmaster, honored guest, dear Vic. What a terrible but beautiful story. It started like a fairy tale, it turned like a nightmare, but it finished like a fairy tale. Saying that, to me, all is said. In life, all of us, we go through very hard time, but in any hard situation, there is always something positive to extract. During this speech, you mentioned that you learned something. You were saved. You were lucky. Thanks to your mom, thanks to the people there. And what
Not the old ladies, though.
Not the old ladies, but we never know. Perhaps they contribute by a little things. But what we learn also is that you were happy because you could live, but you went further. You want to bring something to others through this hard time you get. And I think this is a wonderful message that we all extract out of your speech. What I like about it also is the setting. The introduction was really good. We could really feel the emotion, and we could imagine you playing with your sister in this, dangerous place. And when you mentioned the fact that you were, halt in a bush and you were blue, and I was exactly imagining you like that, The structure was really good because, as I said, you went through the story slowly, and you reached the general message that you were saved and you want to save other people. You want to do something for the life of other people. So I think it was really clear. Regarding the eyes contact, it was also good. I think you look around and it was positive. Perhaps you could have looked more that direction, but I think that here you look around quite well. The body language was also excellent. I love the fact when you show that your mom was trying to reanimate you. These three, it was, really for me expressive. You also mentioned twice the word of the day, but not simply using it by, even if it's a democracy, I decide to kick, or my father decided to kick this lady. So I like this humoristic side. To improve, perhaps don't quote too many people. You can quote only one, and we will keep these people in mind. And perhaps I would have changed the title of your speech. Not only a great day to celebrate life, but perhaps be thankful to be alive. That's it.
Before I ask the second evaluator to give her evaluation on the second speaker, I would like to say, to give also my little evaluation about what Gentan did, and that also will have something to do with what Christy said. I think that the kind of speech that you heard from Gentan is a speech that could go for a contest. I went to the international contest at the area level a few weeks ago, and that's the kind of speech that we might hear. So my suggestion would be, work on it, get help from other more experienced members, and maybe, if that's possible, but I'm asking Maria Teresa, who is a very experienced Toastmaster.
I never say no.
No. Wait until the end of my question. Whether it would be possible to have such a speech, for instance, in the hall to present. Think of it, because I think it's a winner. And that leads me to Lily and her evaluation of Krista.
Toastmasters protocol. Krista, I was so happy, especially when you told me that you were doing this project not for the first time, because that is something in this club, I don't know of anybody else who's even thought that that's possible. When I discovered that on the website, that you can actually get credit for a manual every year. You can go through the whole manual and then the following year get credit for it. I thought that's a really great idea, a wonderful example. We have a problem. That was such a compelling way to start. What's our problem? It reminded me of Star Trek or Star Wars and being up out in space and we have a problem, ground control. And we do. We need to get our act together, and it's a matter of each of us working together, and I think Krista really addressed that issue and made a wonderful appeal to each one of us. I thought when you asked who has been to a district conference, I put my hand up, but I'm not actually sure. I think I've only been to an area conference and a division conference. And I think that it would have been helpful if you had explained, before you asked that question, the structure of the hierarchy in Toastmasters, especially we have a lot of new members here, so that might have been helpful to explain that. I also felt you could have smiled a little bit more, but you were so compelling in everything that you said. You spoke sincerely and with conviction. You were a credible source of information about the topic. You phrased your appeal in terms of the audience's self-interest. Very encouraging, very credible, very convincing. I was captivated. Did the speaker use facts and logical reasoning to support his or her views? I thought it was very, very well done. Emotion was an effective instrument. I thought it was very, very appealing. And one thing I thought you could have done was shown a couple of photos of the competition, and if you didn't have any from the actual meeting that you were at, there are actually even some on Toastmasters International that we could have used. So I thought that could have been that's the only thing I could think of that could have improved your presentation. And I would just like to encourage everybody, follow the example, follow the tips, and take heed of the words that we've heard today, because we are a club that is learning by doing, and exactly seeing people within our own midst who have been through different areas and had different experiences is a perfect way to join a team and get the support that you need to go ahead and make that difference in your own life and in the lives of others around you. So thank you very much, Krista. Very well done.
So now I'm going to ask Robin to give us the different times.
So when I started doing the first table topic speech, I was looking around to try to find the different colors, and I realized it was myself who was in charge of this. So I don't have my own time, sorry for this. The second table topic speakers, Shuba, was very, very inspired and reached 2 minutes 45 seconds. The third table topic speaker, Ines, reached 1 minute 45. The fourth, Maria Teresa, did 2 minutes 18 minutes. Melissa reached 1 minute and 25 seconds. And for the different evaluators, evaluator Valerie, Toastmaster Valerie, reached 3 minutes 18 seconds, a little bit more. And evaluator Lily, Toastmaster Lily, reached 2 minutes 45 seconds. Thank you.
And I would like to know from Ines how many mistakes we made or how many times you use the word democracy.
Madam Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. As a grammarian, I can really safely say we could all graduate from the English class. I did not find very bad or mistakes which were really getting us into trouble. However, there's always a small however. If I look at Gert-Jan, you said something, you meant the letter, you used the word the later. I remember in your speech. Probably it was also a slip. Yeah.
Letter.
The letter.
The letter.
You meant letter and you said the later.
The letter, yes.
Yeah?
Thank
Okay.
you, yes.
Alright, just an observation. Then I looked at something else. You said the large extended family. Normally it should be the extended family.
I want to emphasize word too large.
It was very, very large. It was very large. Fine. There is also something which I observed that we are doing quite often, and that is not having a clear pronunciation of the words. We tend to swallow. I'm doing it as well. Swallow the words. Not finishing also a sentence. We know that, you want to explain something, you want to tell us something very exciting, and swallowing the sentence, not finishing what you wanted to say. And I think that is really what I have to say. Congratulations. The use of the word democracy was with Gert-Jan 3 times, Krista I saw 2 times, I noted 2 times, and Victoria 3 times.
Toastmaster Ines, it's true that I often notice when I listen to people speaking on television and radio that a lot of people, including myself, don't finish our sentences. We know what we want to say, but it goes a bit faster in our mind and in our mouth, and we suppose that people can finish our sentences for us, which is not always the case, and it might be, Toastmasters may be the place to improve on that. And with that, I would like to know from Shuba whether we hesitated a lot or repeated ourselves a lot.
Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. I have done this report democratically. However, I was so lost in Gert-Jan's speech. I got so emotional. I totally could not notice any fillers from you. I hope for your understanding. Krista has no fillers. Monica in the fixation, 2 A's, A, you said, twice. Robin, no. Ines, 1, you know. Marita is a nothing. Melissa, 6 and. Yeah. Valerie, 3 times, you know. Lily, nothing. Robin, nothing. This ends my report, and for those who are new here, I would like to say that for 1 filler it costs 10 cents, and you can make 10 fillers. It is only with €1. The rest is free. But I was happy you didn't make more.
Before I give my general evaluation, maybe I would call on Yumi to tell us who the winner is in table topics.
I'm so glad to announce that the winner of today's table topics is Maria Teresa.
So Maria Teresa will get her 20th, 50th ribbon, which will be given to her by...
I've never cared about things like that, but it's encouraging. We'll take it when we go to see our friend at the district competition.
Right.
Very ambitious.
So, fellow Toastmasters, honored guest, now is my turn to give my evaluation. First of all, I would like to say how happy I am to see that we have so many guests and that we have 2 new members. As Valerie said, it's very important to have fresh blood. And I noticed recently that we're getting more and more. That's good. The other good thing I noticed is that we had 2 speeches plus table topics. And there were times when it was difficult to get 1 speech. So I see that not only do we have new blood, but we have really committed people who really want to give speeches and to progress. And that's very encouraging, and I hope in our next year we will have the same impetus and the same number of speeches every time. It's important to have speeches because, as you know, Toastmasters is about communicating and giving speeches. But Toastmasters is also about evaluating, so it is important to have speeches. Also, it's important as a place where you are evaluated. So I know that I tend to repeat myself. I tend to repeat myself and it gets even worse with age. But never forget to bring with you your competent leadership manual. When you have a role, be it as grammarian, be it as evaluator, you are going to be evaluated as an evaluator, as a grammarian, and that's part of the leadership manual. It's important for you, but it's also important for the club, because when you finish that book, it means points for the club. So don't forget to bring every time the second book. And yes, I would like to come back to the speech that Krista gave, because it's very important. Commitment is an important point in Toastmasters, and it's important to participate in a conference. Krista told you about the district conference, but outside the club you also have the opportunity to participate in the area conference, which is always in Vienna, and take that opportunity because it's really worth it. As far as time is concerned, well, we did almost right, so I'm going to speed it up so that we do it right. Now, my team. I was very glad to see that we had a team before we started the meeting, because sometimes you arrive in the meeting and we don't even have a full team. So thank you to all the ones who volunteered to be part of the team. But don't forget, so that we don't change a member of the team at the last minute to arrive on time when you're a member of the team. And in order not to go too much over time, I will then give the floor again to our Toastmaster of the day, because this finishes my report.
Thank you, Nicole, for this wonderful general evaluation session. I would just like to mention that those who volunteered for roles today really were Robin, for the timekeeper, for the first time. Congratulations. Well, you actually volunteered for this role, and I'm also glad that we had 2 speakers well in advance who actually told us that they would give their speech, and I think it's fantastic. We had a great session today. I enjoyed it. I hope we all learned. I certainly did, because it always, you know, when I came here I thought, I'm going to say this and I'm going to say that, and then when I'm here I'm actually worse than what somebody mentioned. I think Ines, you said that sometimes we don't finish our sentences. With me, I don't even finish my paragraphs, and I noticed this today. But I'm working on it, and I hope you enjoyed today's session, and with this I return control to our chairwoman, Marie.
As we all congratulate each other today, I have to congratulate also the Toastmaster of the day. It's important to have a good meeting, and for me today we had a good meeting, to have a good preparation of the meeting. And as I said, to me this time the meeting was very well prepared in advance, with followers and things like that. So frankly speaking, well done. So, I won't speak too much, too long. I just want to have the feeling of the guest about this meeting. Ah, and the ribbon.
Could I just mention something?
Yeah.
Maria Teresa, if you don't want your ribbon, I will have it.
No, no, no. It's just like I could not, for the guest, at the beginning, I thought all this applauding was a little bit affected. It took me a while to get used to it, but there's a reason for it. It's something to give you support. Just like a ribbon is also something to make you feel motivated. And next time, not be late.
Yeah, but you got it. Wonderful. So, feeling of our guest. James. Short one.
Yes, very good. Thank you very much. It's good to know that there's more complexity involved in speech making. Toastmasters, because of it's the first time I'm learning about the books, and there is some structure to this and how you can improve on your speeches. But thank you very much.
Thank you for coming, and we hope to see you next time. Paola?
I say thank you very much. It's very inspiring, and I'll keep the word or the advice of the day to finish my sentences.
Madam, have your feeling?
I feel very inspired, and I enjoyed the meeting very much. But I should have a second thought, because it was, for me, it was a very good meeting at a very high level, and it's for a newcomer a little bit confusing. But on the whole, thank you very much, and I really enjoyed it.
Thank you for coming. If you want to have a better idea, please come again and you will understand perhaps better the process.
I will gladly accept that.
Thank you, thank you. We have no other guests? Oh, sorry, I think I already. Feeling about this meeting?
Yeah, it was nice. I really enjoyed all the speeches. As one of the colleagues said, you have a bit of procedures, protocol. I think one needs a bit of time to get used to that, to understand it. I've heard also about the books today. I'm just interested how can I get them, where to get them. So exactly. So otherwise, I'm happy to be here.
Wonderful, welcome. We wait for you again. So, the meeting of today, please try to be here within 2 weeks. It's an important meeting. Next committee has to be elected. So I hope to see you all here on the 14th of June.
So, James, some money.